In this tutorial, I'm going to talk to you guys about inheritance in Python. Inheritance is a mechanism for reusing code. And once again, it's not limited to Python. Most languages that support classes also support inheritance. So let me show you how it works. Let's say we have this dog class with a simple walk method. In this method, we're simply printing the walk message on the terminal. Now, let's say in a real program, instead of just one line of code here, we're going to have 10 lines of code. Now, what if in the future we want to define another class, let's say cat, and we want to add this walk method there as well? We'll have to repeat all that code in this new class, walk. This is bad because we have repeated or duplicated our code. In programming, we have a principle called DRY, which is short for don't repeat yourself. And here's the reason. Let's say sometime in the future, we discover a problem in our walk method. If we have repeated or duplicated this method in many other places, then we'll have to come back and fix that problem in every single place we have duplicated this code. So that's why in programming, we should not define something twice. So how can we solve this problem? Well, there are different approaches. One approach, which is easier to understand for beginners, is inheritance. And here's how it works. We define a new class called mammal and move the walk method right there. Then we'll have the dog and cat classes inherit that method from their parent, just like how humans inherit certain attributes or behaviors from their parents. It's exactly the same. So on the top, we define a new class. Let's call it mammal. Then we need to move the walk method there. So we select it, cut it using Command and X on Mac or Control X on Windows. And then paste it here. Beautiful. Now we want our dog class to inherit this method from the mammal class. So right after the class name, we add parentheses and then type out the name of the parent class. In this case, mammal. That's all we had to do. So with this, the dog class will inherit all the methods defined in the mammal class. Now there's a tiny problem here. If you look at line 9, there is a red underline here. The reason this is happening is because Python doesn't like an empty class. So right now, our dog class is empty. It doesn't have anything. We either need to add methods specific to dogs, or just to make Python happy, we can use the pass statement. And that basically means nothing. We're telling Python interpreter, hey, pass this line. Don't worry about it. But with this, we don't have an empty class. Okay. Now, as I told you before, after each class, you should have 2 line breaks. So right now we only have 1 line break, and that is the reason we have this little warning here. So let's add another blank line. Beautiful. So our dog class is inheriting the walk method from the mammal. We need to apply the same change to the cat class. So we'll have cat inherit from mammal, and then we use the pass statement here. With these changes, now we can create either a dog or a cat object. Let's say dog1. We set it to a dog object. And when we type dot, look, we have the walk method that is defined in the mammal class. We can easily call it. Let's run our program. There you go. We see the walk message. So both the dog and cat classes are inheriting all the methods defined in their parent class. Now here we can add methods specific to dogs. For example, we can define a method called bark and then print bark. Now we don't need the pass statement because we already defined one method in our dog class. So now when we type out dog1 dot, look, we have 2 methods. One is the walk method that we inherited and the bark method that we just defined in the dog class. Similarly, we can add a method specific to a cat. For example, we can define a method called be annoying. Yeah, I hate cats. So let's print annoying. Now, when we create a cat object, let's remove that, cat1, and type out cat1 dot, we have these 2 methods, walk and be annoying. So these are the basics of inheritance in Python.